Hello, Angela here. And you know what? I could be really stressed right now because I've just finished a video talking to you about the truth about the truth about stress. And got to the very end, feeling really happy with myself. That was pretty good, and realised I hadn't put my external mic onto my phone. And my sound isn't working on my phone unless I have the external mics. That was a waste of time. But hey, here we are. So what was I talking about? I have to think about it again now. I was talking about the truth about stress, and I got to thinking about, okay, who coined the phrase? Who made up what stress is all about? Where did it come from? And I found this guy. This guy was born in 1907, 2 years after my grandma, and he died in 1982, the year my son was born. He's a Hungarian guy, and he's called something like Hans Selye, and he studied stress and general stress disorder and came up with all this theory, which is all well and good if it's true, but it's theory. You know, and it can't be true, because if what it was saying was true, every single person that went through certain scenarios, certain events, certain situations, every single person would have the same thing going on, but they don't. So stress comes from somewhere else. And it got me thinking about other things that have been truths until they've been misproven. The one about the earth being flat. Now, there's been a lot of controversy about who believed that and who didn't believe that and which cultures. But I know some people did. And if you believe what you read, I think it was the Catholic Church, a church, had a word with Columbus when he was going off sailing, like, you need to be careful because you might fall off the edge. And so sailors learned to take the great big heavy anchors with them, so that if they wanted to anchor, they had to anchor because they might just float off the edge. So it was true. Well, it wasn't true, but it was believed to be true for a while. So many of these things. It's like we get up in the morning and we see the sunrise, but it doesn't. We still talk about the sun rising and the sun setting, but it's not the way it works. And then the other one that really I find fascinating is about this guy called, another Hungarian guy called Semmelweis, and his whole interest and work role was working in the hospitals and with mums having babies. And so he'd deliver babies, and he also did autopsies on mums that died in childbirth. And there was a thing called childbed fever back then. There was a lot of women who were dying with this childbed fever who had their babies in hospital, back 8 and 10. And then mums who had their babies at home were surviving. So it got to that, a lot of mums didn't want to go into hospital to have their baby. It was all too scary. And so this Semmelweis guy, he got pretty stressed himself, because he was like, oh my gosh, what's going on here? And looking into what was going on, and he got himself into, he was making himself ill with the job and spending too long hours at work, trying to figure everything out. And his mate said to him, look, you need a break, go away, have some time off, and I'll hold the fort here. And when Semmelweis got back to work about 3 weeks later, this guy had died. And on autopsy, it was found that he had died of the same thing as the women with childbed fever. So Semmelweis knew then there was a link, and he realised that it was linked to the scalpel, because back in those days they were delivering babies with the scalpel and then giving it a wipe, sticking it in the top pocket, going down and doing autopsies, the same scalpel, giving it a wipe, sticking it in the top pocket. And it was the germs on the scalpel that were being transferred. And he knew this. And so Semmelweis, back then, which isn't that long ago if you think about it, he wanted to set a rule for people to wash their hands in between doing jobs. Nobody liked this, didn't go down very well. It was like, oh God, what's all this about? We know that it doesn't come from, germs don't come from this, they come from smells or whatever stories they were telling themselves. And poor Semmelweis, he ended up leaving that hospital, and he ended up quite depressed at some point, and then he eventually died without his theory being recognised 100%. It was later that people actually started taking on board the truth. Now, it seems to me like stress is a similar thing, because people are believing that the stress comes from something outside, that it comes from a situation, that it comes from people, from a relationship, from your ex, from work, from bullies. It doesn't. I'm not saying these things don't exist, obviously they do. But stress is an inside job. It's like it comes from our thinking about the situation. It comes from our thinking about events, about the challenges. You know, it's true. Life throws challenges at us all the time. We never know what's going to come up next. We can't control the challenges, but we can control the way we respond when we realise the truth, that it's the stories we're making up in our mind, and that comes from what we've learned through life. We've learned through our experiences, through our thinking. We've formed beliefs, and we've formed values, and we've formed rules around these values and these beliefs and what's right and what's wrong, and then we live our life according to our story. So what my job is really is to help you, to help yourself, by pointing you in a different direction so that you can gain your own insights. I can't give you what I know. You wouldn't get it. It's like me telling you that this is a pencil if you think it's a pen. You wouldn't believe it. You'd have to have your own insight. And so I, in my own unique way, in Angie's way, help to guide you to gain your own insights. And if it's something that you're interested in, then I have an offer on my webpage that's been on throughout February, and it's on through March, and then you'll not see it again, not at this price. It's an online coaching package, and it's really geared for stress at work, but we can adapt it for any situation around stress. So all you have to do is go along and have a look. I'll put the link at the bottom of this page, and then if it sounds like something you're interested in, you can either sign up there and then, or send me a message and we can have a coaching conversation to see, first of all, if I think I'm a good fit for you, and secondly, if you think you're a good fit for me, and if we can help each other get from where you are now to where you want to be. Yeah? So that you can be okay. You can be okay no matter what's going on. And I know this because of the challenges I've been going through recently. But you can do it. Go for it. You've got nothing to lose and you've got everything to gain. So let's hope this time I've got the sound working. I'll speak to you all soon. Have a great day, or sleep well wherever you are in the world. Love you all. Bye.